Tonight on CTV News at 5.
It feels like the balance there or the reward for it doesn't quite meet the way that it used to be.
Costly credits. Post-secondary education is getting more expensive, and many parents worry they're getting priced out.
Like once you start at the beginning, like you're not going to stop until you reach the end. So.
Walk this way. Artists paint the way in downtown Halifax.
About 1,000 Porsche Club members coming off that cruise ship, all coming to check out the show and also supporting Make-A-Wish, which is incredible.
Show and shine. Porsche enthusiasts from all over North America cruise into Halifax.
Foggy for some areas tonight, and Friday will be a bit cloudier with a few spots having a chance of showers.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Pano-Palace. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, getting schooled. If you think tuition is pricey now, just wait. A new study projects the price of post-secondary education will increase by at least 30% in the next couple of decades. As CTV's Stephanie Seco shows us, that has parents concerned about their children's academic aspirations. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Maria. And it's not just tuition to think about when it comes to post-secondary education. There's also housing, food, and other expenses that can quickly add up.
University is not cheap, and the cost is only going to keep climbing, which has this parent considering other options for her children.
As time has kind of evolved, I think that we're leaning more towards trades and entrepreneurship. I feel like post-secondary education, does the cost and the value of the degree, do they equate like they used to? Like even for ourselves, we only just finished paying off our student loans a few years ago.
According to a recent survey by Embark, a company specializing in education savings, more than half of Canadian parents say they won't be able to afford the rising costs.
One of the things that we also discovered is the current geopolitical landscape had made parents very conservative about starting, for example, a savings account for post-secondary education. We call that the RESP.
Embark projects by 2042, the average cost of a four-year university education could go up by 36% in Canada when you factor in tuition, housing, food, and other expenses. Embark's data shows the national average would be around $137,000. It's even higher in Nova Scotia, where the overall cost is pegged around $170,000. That's up almost 48% compared to 2025. In New Brunswick, the cost is forecast to hit $161,000, up by 44%. And on Prince Edward Island, it's expected to cost more than $139,000, up 38%.
I think the math is, more complex. I mean, certainly the cost of housing and the demand for housing increase those costs. Obviously, inflation, food, etc.
Embark says it's never too late to start saving.
It's going to make a big difference for their post-secondary education. And you can save as little as, $5 a week, $10 a month, etc. And start building as you can afford or feel comfortable.
While the cost is one factor, it's also hard for parents to know what the future job market will even look like.
I think that with AI technology coming down, it's also very questioning too about the loss of white-collar jobs and educated jobs, and it seems like there's more of a trend moving towards our hands-on professions and more of our trades being more where the value is.
Embark says currently the average cost of a four-year education in Canada is just over $100,000. Maria.
Wow, and that's still quite pricey. Thank you, Stephanie. CTV's Stephanie Seco's for us in the news center this evening. That actually brings us to tonight's web poll. We're asking, are you saving money for a post-secondary education? These are your options. Yes, I'm making regular contributions, or I am, but not as much as I would like. No, I'd like to, but I can't afford it. And your final option, I don't have to save for post-secondary education. Just go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. All right, over to the anchor desk we go now, where Todd Battis is standing by with the headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Maria. St. John police are investigating a murder in the city's uptown. The police force says officers were called to a house on Carlton Street last night where they found a man suffering from serious injuries. They say it's an isolated incident. Still, no one has been arrested. We will get an update from CTV's Nick Moore. The Long Lake wildfire remains out of control at this hour, and crews say it will be quite some time before it's put out completely. People who are allowed back into their homes on Wednesday are now settling in today. They're reviewing damage, if any, to their properties. Hafsa Arif is in the area. We will hear from her tonight. It's up, up, and away in Sussex. Over the next few days, the 39th annual Sussex Balloon Fiesta will kick off. It's a big weekend in town every year. Of course, organizers are hoping for good, calm weather. Today, the wind actually prevented balloons from taking fully to the skies. We'll head to Sussex at 6 o'clock, and, well, maybe Kayla Mitchell can help things out. What do you think?
It's interesting. I didn't think the winds were particularly strong for today, but maybe they were as those balloons get higher up aloft in the atmosphere. Winds are expected to pick up a little bit in strength out of the south over the next couple of days. Weather conditions, though, looking pretty fair for both Friday as well as Saturday for the Sussex area. There will be a higher chance of some rain and some showers on Sunday. Taking a look at temperatures right now around the region. Temperatures are in the low 20s on parts of the coast, and then moving away from coastal areas, they're coming up and towards the mid to high 20s. Once again, that's quite warm for early September. Checking in on the dew point temperatures, which is a measure of moisture in the air. They're mostly sitting around the low to mid-teens. Mugginess has increased just a little bit in the region today compared to yesterday, so relative humidity values mostly running in the range around 40 to 60%. Winds, we were just talking about the winds, a bit variable in direction, but mostly sustained between 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. Only a couple gusts near 30 to show you at this hour, one at the Fredericton Airport and one at the Charlottetown Airport. Over on radar and satellite, not much showing up here. It's expected to be a mainly clear night with the exception of some fog patches developing. Tomorrow, in the northwestern corner of New Brunswick, though, may see a few showers brush in throughout the day. And a chance of some patchy drizzle for some coastal areas of the region. I'll talk more about that, though, when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you a little later on. Right now, we're going to take a quick break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, we'll take you down this path.
I'm Brianne Foley on the Halifax waterfront, where the boardwalk is getting a much-needed facelift. We'll have that story coming up tonight on CTV News at 5.
When young people need someone to talk to, Kids Help Phone is there. Grab your golf clubs and support mental health in your community. Join the Kids Help Phone Golf Classic September 18th on the links at Brunello. To get involved, call Allison at 782-409-1613.
Welcome back. We've got a great contest going. CTV has teamed up with Scotiabank Centre for a big ticket giveaway. One lucky viewer will win a Scotiabank Centre prize package that features home game tickets to see the Halifax Mooseheads and the Halifax Thunderbirds, plus 2 tickets to see Warren Ziders, Sarah McLachlan, the Beaches, and the Tea Party. We're also throwing in 5 one-night stays at Moxie Halifax downtown. To enter, go to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts or scan the QR code on your screen right now. You can enter once per day until next Saturday at 5 p.m. The winner will be announced on September 19th. Good luck, everybody. All right, on to our next story here. The already beautiful Halifax waterfront got a little brighter this week as CTV's Brianne Foley shows us new brushstrokes reveal a treasure map for all to enjoy and explore.
The energy uplift, just the whole environment, that was the plan.
Robbie Laviere is from Ottawa, but spends a lot of time on the Halifax waterfront because his wife works in the city.
This project was something that I feel like the waterfront definitely needed. It had these really cool games all the way down, minimalistic and needed a little bit more life, a little bit more color. I kind of pitched an email to Halifax saying, I've done this in my hometown.
Build Nova Scotia gave him the green light to paint the 300-foot treasure map.
When murals are interactive like this, it's a whole other level. You're on top of the art, the physical art, so it's like, it's a whole other layer, like murals that we all stare at and obsess over, it's one thing, but to be able to actually use it is next level.
A fun experience and an opportunity to travel to Halifax for the first time, so got to see a little bit of the city and help create a big, beautiful artwork that the people here will get to enjoy for a long time.
Robbie brought in fellow artist Jesse Albert to lighten the load while allowing his creativity to flow.
We have taken a lot of inspiration from the city's history, architecture, and wildlife in the ocean setting that we have here. So we have a lot of nautical themes, a lot of sea creatures. You feel like you're in a way connected to the cities that you work in, and you've helped contribute to the local community pride.
Of course, the former game is still afoot, though you might have a hard time choosing a favorite piece.
Personally, I think if I had to choose one, I really like some of our crustaceans. We have some lobsters and crabs that have a lot of personality, so I'd say that those are my favorite parts of the piece.
Definitely the treasure map section, just because you physically feel like you're on the map, you know, like it's so big that you're going to be jumping from island or trying to get the treasure, but you're in the game.
From tourists to daily walkers, everyone who we spoke to has been so impressed not only by the mural itself, but that it only took 4 days to create. So if you haven't been down to the waterfront yet, you really need to come check out the beautiful work. Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Brianne. That's mind-blowing that it only took 4 days to create. I don't even think I could come up with the idea in 4 days.
Well, the weather was cooperating for them, that's for sure.
Sure was, yeah, and it has been the last few days indeed. And what a beautiful day to get outside for a walk, perhaps.
Yeah, if you're looking for a benefit out of this stretch of weather, it is certainly extending those days where it's very pleasant to spend down by the waterfront, be it the harbors or the beaches. It was pretty much a perfect beach day today at Lawrencetown Beach. Nice big waves there. I'll have more in the forecast coming up after the break.
School buses were back en route this morning in Halifax, where thousands of students returned to class after the summer break. It was also the first day of school on Prince Edward Island. New Brunswick kids went back on Tuesday. Of course, we're wishing all of the kiddos a great year, young and small. Kaylin, I know you were part of that chaos this morning. Me too.
Oh, yes.
I had my husband call me this afternoon after pickup because I needed a debrief, and I'm happy to tell you we love our teachers and we love all the kids in our class, so that's a happy thing. How about you?
Excellent. Yeah, Locke was pretty excited to get back to school this morning. Ended up with one of his friends in his class for this year, so he was pretty happy about that, and looking forward to getting home a little bit later on this evening, finding out how things went.
A little evening celebration for sure. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Wishing everybody a happy year. And now we're going to turn it over to you for a look at how things are shaping up in the weather department.
Yeah, well, just before the commercial break, we were taking a look at the conditions around Lawrencetown Beach today. Now we're up in Cape Breton. We're looking out here at Lewisburg and blue skies there, and just little tiny white caps on the waters. You can hear a bit of a breeze going, and winds for today were mostly out of the south and sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with a few gusts between 20 and 40. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure, it's about middle of the road right now. Not tilted either too far towards low pressure or high pressure. There is a low pressure system making its way through northern Ontario. There's a couple of weather fronts, and as those fronts get a little bit closer towards the Maritimes over the next couple of days, wind speeds are going to be increasing out of the southerly direction just a little bit for tomorrow, and then a little bit more for the weekend. And as that front gets closer, there will also be some areas that get into a chance of some showers, including tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick. Now, if we take a look at things on radar, currently not much is showing up, and not much in the way of wet weather expected as we move through tonight. Something you can expect, though, is some fog patches develop once again, and the fog most widespread around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. So taking a look at the forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, a lot of the grays you're seeing here fill into the map is that fog trying to develop. There will also be some cloud cover that moves in off the Atlantic and from the west of us for the Maritimes for tomorrow. So a little bit more cloud cover around on Friday compared to today. In this band of green coming in through Quebec and Maine, that's that chance of showers for some northern and western areas of New Brunswick. You'll also notice some patchy green showing up around locations in Nova Scotia. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Let's start off, though, with the showers coming into the north and west of New Brunswick for tomorrow. Looks like these could be arriving as early as the morning hours. They should be relatively light, though, with rainfall amounts in them, restricted probably to just up to around a couple of millimeters in most cases. Certainly looking for more wet weather than that. And then those little flecks of green around areas of Nova Scotia. Tomorrow in the southerly wind, It's likely, along with some fog near the Atlantic coastline, that there might be a little bit of patchy drizzle. So up and down the Atlantic coastal areas of Nova Scotia tomorrow, there might be a little bit of intermittent, light, wet weather in the form of that drizzle. Taking a look at winds in the forecast, again, on Friday, out of the south, picking up a little bit compared to today. I'd say tomorrow's winds could be sustained between 15 and 30 kilometers per hour, with some occasional gusts between 30 and 40. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight around the Maritimes, pretty mild. Most lows for New Brunswick in the range of around 11 to 14 degrees. Around 14 degrees for many communities in Prince Edward Island for tonight. And most low temperatures for Nova Scotia between 10 and 16 degrees. Here's a look at the high temperatures in the forecast for Friday. Once again, for New Brunswick, for many communities, up to around the mid-20s. A little bit cooler in the northwest of the province because of that chance of showers. So there, 20 to 23 degrees. 25 degrees tomorrow for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island. For Nova Scotia, away from the Atlantic coastline, lots of highs around the mid-20s. And then on the coastline, low 20s. And again, that chance of some patchy drizzle through the day. In the forecast for Saturday, as that front gets a little bit closer, there's going to be a chance of showers once again in the northwestern corner of New Brunswick, a risk of a thunderstorm accompanying them. The rest of the Maritimes for the start of the weekend, very warm and very humid. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from Tori Nodwell from New Brunswick. And Tori has sent us a drawing of walking on the beach with Dad while visiting Prince Edward Island. Thank you, Tori. And weather watchers can come in to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So it's Dahlia Day, and flower lovers came together to celebrate the brilliant bloom at the Halifax Public Gardens. Popular florist Neville, and a very familiar face to us. He brings us, well, a pop of color.
We're here at the beautiful, historic, iconic Public Gardens here in Halifax. And look at these glorious dahlias that I get to work with, all in celebration of Dahlia Days here at the Public Gardens.
A lot of times, we forget to use these wonderful stems after they finish flowering. Look how pretty that is.
Dahlia Days is an excitement, a beautiful celebration of these glorious flowers. Look at those. Aren't they spectacular? There are so many varieties of dahlias, and the Dahlia Society of Nova Scotia is world-renowned for some of the most beautiful flowers that are available. And I get to come down once a year during Dahlia Days and do a demonstration to show how to work with and enjoy and appreciate these absolutely glorious flowers.
Let them do what they do, and they'll shine beautifully every single time, won't they?
Dahlias, of course, for all of us, we know they've been around a long time. They've been around hundreds of years. They're native to Central America and Mexico, but they are grown worldwide. And even in places like Holland, there are over 1 million tubers that are grown annually to produce these flowers. They're easy to grow. It's a great way to come down to this event and learn how to grow them, how to select the best ones, and what to do to get the best out of them as a stem cut flower as well. They're gorgeous. They come in so many shapes, varieties, and colors. The only color they really don't come in is a real proper blue. But look at the size of some of these, are stunning.
Very cautious if you're putting sugar in with your flowers.
If you can get down to the public gardens and see some of these beautiful gardens and the flowers that they have, do it, because it is a real jewel in the center of the city. The gardens has been around for a long time, and the dahlias are just in full glory right now. This is the 14th annual Dahlia Days, and I've been doing this for a good many years to get to celebrate these glorious flowers and to see the excitement that people have when they see these beautiful flowers. And for me, to get to use a lot of the flowers out of the public gardens and create some glorious things for people to share love through their beauty is very special indeed.
Take that home, give it a good drink, and have one yourself. You're off to the races.
Oh, Neville, we love you. Thank you so much. My goodness, so many varieties, so many colors, and absolutely beautiful dahlias. Wow. All right, we're going to take a little break here on CTV News at 5. Stay with us, though. When we come back, we'll steer you in this direction.
Hi, I'm McConvey here in Halifax. Coming up on CTV News at 5, from the high seas to the highways, Porsche enthusiasts bring their horsepower to Halifax. We'll take you to the show and shine next.
Welcome back. So if you notice more Porsches in Halifax today, you're not imagining things. As CTV's Emma Convey shows us, hundreds of car enthusiasts brought their favorite ride to the city to show off their pride and joy while supporting a great cause.
Tom Thalman drove his 2003 Porsche 996 Turbo all the way from Rhode Island, not only to tour the Cabot Trail, but to participate in today's show and shine in Halifax.
It's the love of the club and the love of the cars. And I know some of the people that are on the cruise, so they know I'm going to be here. They know my car. And it's, quite honestly, this whole experience with the car has been one big giant journey. And this is just a piece of that puzzle that fits in for me.
Dozens of Porsches were on display at Pavilion 23, an event hosted by the Acadia Region Porsche Club, and a way to welcome 1,000 Porsche Club of America members on board the Enchanted Princess.
We've established this car display with over 50 cars, and we're having a driving tour here within the city where we're taking about 25 of our cars, and we're going to take some of the passengers that are on the cruise around the city.
This is the first time we've ever seen a tour of this kind leaving from the Halifax seaport. I mean, a number of cruise ships come in, passengers will often go on excursions and take a look at the city in different ways, but this view from one of these vehicles is going to be absolutely incredible.
Over 200 people on board the ship signed up for the free 45-minute tours around Halifax.
We've got a 59 356 convertible D, and we've got other 65. We've got 70s cars, we've got 80 cars, 90 cars, 2000 cars, newer cars.
It's in honor of the Acadia Region Porsche Club's former president, John Timbrell, and for a good cause, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Porsche Club has been raising funds for us for 2 years, and last year they raised $21,000, which was incredible. I know this year they're hoping to surpass their goal from last year.
We're out there in the community, and a lot of us have just the desire to help. We'd like to do more than 20,000, okay? And we hope that we can do part of that here.
Turning Porsche pride into compassion. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Emma. And what a beautiful day they had to show off those gorgeous cars.
And the only thing approaching faster than a Porsche is the weekend, and I'm going to have details of the weekend weather coming up on CTV News at 6.
We'll see you and Todd and Katie at 6 o'clock. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for watching. The national news is next.